Okay guys, how are you? Johnny here. We are gonna recording another tutorial. In this time, I will start doing modifiers review. Okay, so every video from now on, we are gonna check every modifier in Blender. Okay, so this will work for Blender 2.79 and also for Blender 2.8. Okay, so let's start with the first one. This is the array modifier. Okay, so in this case, we have a cube and the array modifier. So the options in the array modifiers are a few. So let's start with fixed count. What we have here is an object that can be multiplied the times you want with the count. So you have two ways to duplicate this object. It's by constant offset and by relative offset. Okay, so the relative offset will become relative to the object you have in the scene. Okay, is how many times you will multiply. So if you put 1, it will become relative to the size of the object. So if you put 1, the duplicate will start as soon as the original object ends. So you can put 1.5 and you will have like half of object in between as a space for the array. Okay, so you can increase and decrease with this counter. So this is relative offset. If you want to create something like with a constant offset, because you know how far the objects are, for example, in a fence, so you can create it with real measures. Okay, for example, here I have the metric system. So if I need to put the next pole or the next cube 5 meters away, I can just press 5 and the object will be created 5 meters from the previous one. Okay, and this is the same. You can increase and decrease. So the other thing that we can do here, we can use the object offset. So this is in order to make the pivot point of the array another object. Okay, in this case, I have an empty here. I can put the origin of the cube in this empty with cursor to selected, and then go to the cube and origin to 3D cursor. Okay, and now I can put object offset and go to the empty. Okay, that is this one, and I can start bending everything along this empty. Okay, so let's put the origin back in place. Set origin to the center of the mass. Okay, so let's say that you want a different object in the beginning or at the end of the entire array system. That's possible using the start and end cap. So for example, I have here a bevel cube that I will use for tomorrow's tutorial, speaking about bevel. What you have here is you have the way to use the bevel to start the entire array, and you can also add one to the last. This is very useful, for example, if you are doing like a wall, a city wall, something like that, you know. Okay, so this is all for fixed count. Let's go to 3 again. Let's remove this and let's see what we can check for curve and length. In this case, if you put length, you will have a counter, but with meters or whatever metric system you are, and you can start using the meters to make the array system bigger or smaller. This also is very useful in architecture for an exterior. If you know that you have a fence of X meters, so you know that, okay, it's 20 meters long, okay, that's right. And you have everything very precise. So this is very useful as well. The difference between the constant and the length is that length is not the offset, is not the space between both duplicates, but is the total length of the entire system. Okay, so let's go 0 and let's go to fit curve. In fit curve, what you have is a curve option. So let's put 1. you have a, for example, let's say a Bezier curve. Okay. So to make this work, you need to have the origin point of the object that will have the array at the same exact location of the curve origin point. Okay, so let's move this origin point to the 3D cursor. So now what we are gonna do is apply the scale of everything, and you can see. Let's make this longer. Okay, if I choose this curve as the object to fit the array length to, what we have is that this is gonna follow the curve length. Okay, so this is not gonna follow the curve directions, or this is not gonna deform itself along the curve. If you want to do that, you will have to choose the curve deform modifier, but maybe we are gonna see this in another video. Okay, but these are the options that you have in the array modifier. Okay, so tell me, what do you think about this video? Let me know if you want to know about all the modifiers, so I will start making these videos about everything in the modifier stack, and maybe we can jump to the deform. Let me know if you want to know something about a specific modifier, and I can move along with this series of videos. Okay, this is the video number 6. We are 24 videos away from our goal, so thank you for joining me. I'm sorry, Stark, that I couldn't do the tire modeling today. A car tire, if we want to model it in Blender, it will take maybe 1, 2, or even 3 parts to complete it. There is a lot of information of car tires modeling in Blender out there. I mean, there is one in particular from CG Masters, from Chris Plash, that is great. If you want to know something, about how to create a tire with modifiers, please check that video. In fact, I will leave that video in the description so you can check it, and everyone else can check it too. He uses the array, the curve modifier, and the simple deform one, so check it. Okay, so let's see you tomorrow, and thanks you for being there. So let's see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for joining me, and we are near, and okay, thanks for joining me, guys. Thanks. Okay, subscribe, give a like, comment, whatever you want. And if you want to write me by Twitter or by Facebook, please feel free to do it. And have a nice evening. Bye.